Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? First, we'll start with LSU baseball, taking 2 out of 3 against Arkansas. No, we're not! Now, we can formally acknowledge Derek Carr is the worst free agent signing in the inglorious history of my beloved New Orleans Saints. I tell Muse from time to time, hey Muse, mark the tape. I do that from time to time. And sometimes he listens to me. Most of the time he doesn't because he's probably not paying attention, right, Muse? I'm kidding, Muse. I'm kidding. But let's flash back to March the 6th, 2023, a little more than 2 years ago, when some old fat, bald, know-nothing, loud-mouthed, red-faced, head-sweating Italian dude, looks a lot like me sitting in this chair, said that. I'll definitively say that today. For as long as Derek Carr is the quarterback of the New Orleans Saints will not win a Super Bowl, period. 3:08 Central Time on Monday, March the 6th. With Derek Carr, your floor is higher. Your floor is higher with Derek Carr. Undeniably, your floor is higher, but your ceiling is lower. And I'm not okay with that. You have an aging quarterback who, the team that knew him best, the team that's had him for 9 years, the team that's invested in him, built around him, made him their franchise, just kicked him to the curb. Why? Because they knew the floor is high, but the ceiling is low. And that's okay for some people. It's not good enough for everyone. And the problem right now is that low ceiling but high floor is where the Saints exist with Derek Carr. Boy! I can't wait, because right now, to a lot of you, that sounds like, no doubt, Matt. Everybody knew that. Derek, no. And I'm going to tell you what I'm having a lot of fun doing over this next week because I got time. I got all the time in the world now. They give me 3 hours every day to run my mouth. I'm going to go back and I'm going to dig through every one of those videos and every one of your stupid comments calling me names, telling me how wrong I was and how awesome Derek Carr is, and I'm going to call y'all out. I may take my I can't do it today, but I may take my entire 3-hour show tomorrow and Tuesday and do nothing but read your stupid comments from the last 2 years, kicking dirt in my eyes for my Derek Carr takes. Where are you at now? Y'all, the New Orleans Saints, my beloved New Orleans Saints. I'm an OG, born in New Orleans, Lakeside Hospital, grew up in New Orleans East. Sundays was church, Shoney's breakfast buffet, and the Dome to watch the Saints get their ass kicked. My first ever favorite player was Dalton Hilliard. I'm not old enough to know Dalton with LSU. Dalton Hilliard, New Orleans Saints 21. Like, when Dalton had a picture in the paper, I cut it out and taped the picture from the paper on my wall in my room. I've been there forever. And they suck. The New Orleans Saints have an inglorious history, y'all. It took 20 years to make the playoffs. It took 33 years to win a playoff game. Some of y'all older than me, God bless you, because y'all persevered through even more than I did. But we have allowed the shining example of the Peyton Breeze era to make us think that this organization is actually better than what they are, when in reality, that's one little sliver of time, a shining star amid a whole lot of darkness. I mean, this is an organization that once took a freaking punter, Russell Edwards-Helaire, who, by the way, is also a convicted felon from a Ponzi scheme, took a freaking punter, 11th overall.
Hey, the snap goes over the head of Edwards-Helaire. Edwards-Helaire picks it up and tries to throw it. It's intercepted and it's taken in for a touchdown.
Yeah, a punter with the 11th overall pick. This is an organization that let Mike Ditka trade an entire draft for Ricky Williams, only to later see Ditka and Williams in a freaking wedding dress posing for the front of a magazine cover. Oh, I've seen lots of bad free agents, y'all. I've seen them, and I hear you. Jason David this, Brandon Browner that, Jarris Byrd, whatever. I get it. Jarris Byrd was in New Orleans for 3 years, 14, 15, and 16, back-to-back 7 and 9 seasons. He ain't a quarterback, he's a safety. He ain't why you went back-to-back 7 and 9 seasons. You want to talk about Brandon Browner? We could do that. But Brandon Brown has signed a 3-year, $15 million contract. It was $10 million guaranteed. He's a creep. He's in prison now. He was a walking penalty flag, but he didn't cripple your organization the way Derek Carr did. You want to talk about quarterbacks in the history of this organization? Let's do it. You want to talk about the Billy Joes? I'm here for it. Billy Joe Tolliver, Billy Joe Hobart. What are the odds of that? 2 Billy Joes on the same team, God bless him. Oh, Heath Schuler was going to be the guy. Jeff Blake, Aaron Brooks, Danny Werfel. They tried to revive Kerry Collins. I've been there for it all. They recently did it with Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston. How about Jim Everett? You signed Jim Everett in 1994 as a free agent quarterback, and like a week after you signed him, he beats up Jim Rome on live TV.
I think that you probably won't say it again.
I bet I do.
Okay.
Chris?
I mean, everything about this organization is a turd pile, except for the Peyton and Breeze era. Shout out Dome Patrol, too, and Dalton and Bobby. But that's it. Derek Carr, in that inglorious history, still is the darkest speck on the map. He is the worst free agent acquisition in the history of this organization. You want to talk about the money? 4 years, $150 million, $100 million of it guaranteed. You know why Trey Hendrickson is leading the NFL in sacks for the Bengals? You know why Zach Bond goes to Philly and is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate? You want to know why you don't have Chauncey Gardner-Johnson on your roster anymore? You want to know why all these guys that the Saints had and don't have anymore, Marcus Williams, are gone? Because you sign bad players to inflated contracts and you exacerbate the problem by continuing to restructure, and none more bloated than Derek Carr. A guy who I told you the day they friggin' signed him was Andy Dalton. It ain't hard. Take off your black and gold sunglasses. Derek Carr, Andy Dalton were identical. Statistically identical. 9 years in one place. They drafted him around 2, made him their franchise. He spends 9 years there. In 9 years, he has a losing record overall, only 2 winning seasons, played in 1 playoff game, lost. And they said, you know what? We don't think this guy's very good. And so they kicked him to the curb. There was nobody running, lining up to make Derek Carr their freaking franchise. And the Saints went, I got an idea. Let's drop a bag on this guy. Maybe one day he'll take this money and go buy a $500,000 EV Rolls Royce and make a stupid car video on YouTube about it. That's what they did. Let's go dump a pile of money on a dude that nobody wants. Brilliant, but that's the New Orleans Saints. That's who they are. That's what they do. And that's why your roster is old and expensive and you suck. That's why you are what you are. Let's talk about the opportunity cost. Okay. If you don't sign Derek Carr, where are you in 2023? You bring Jameis Winston back. And then you know what happens? You go into the 2024 draft trying to draft a franchise quarterback. The 2024 draft that saw 6 quarterbacks go in the top 12 picks. Maybe you're not getting Caleb Williams or Jameis or Jaden Daniels. Maybe you're not getting Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels, but you could be in the mix for Michael Penix or J.J. McCarthy or Bo Nix. Maybe. And now we're having a very different conversation because you've already started your rebuild behind a good, young, talented quarterback. How about wasting your veterans' final years in New Orleans? Cam is no longer an every down defender in the NFL. Demario Davis, God bless him, the man of God, I love him, but he's 36 years old. He's at the end of his career. Alvin Kamara is 30. Taysom Hill has an awful contract, and he's coming off a devastating injury. His time in New Orleans is very likely done. Marshawn Lattimore has already been traded. You had all these guys in a compressed window, and Derek Carr. Yeah, awesome. And then how about we talk maybe about the leadership or lack thereof? Do you realize this weekend, Saturday morning, Derek Carr announces his retirement? Go on to Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Go look at Cam Jordan's account. Go look at Demario Davis. Go look at Alvin Kamara. Go look at Eric McCoy. Go look at Taysom Hill. Go look at their Twitter accounts and see how many of them posted like flowery, wonderful messages, farewell to Derek Carr. I'll save you the trouble. None did. Because I had Chris Marler, our social media guy, try to do a social media reacts for LouisianaSports.net. Couldn't find none. Oh, Fresno State put some stuff out there. God bless it. The Raiders didn't even put anything out on their X account. What does that say about the man? Total lack of self-awareness. in the middle of all this injury stuff, which happens at the beginning of April, won't say anything about it. He comes out and does these stupid car review videos, gets lambasted for it, doesn't understand, has no self-awareness why that's not only bad content. By the way, bro, you made $100 million. How about a little production value, okay? That's number one. Number two, to not have the understanding that in this time when everybody's talking about your shoulder, releasing car review videos is kind of tone deaf. A little bit. No, he's just going to run it out there. And then when he does talk, he does it in a freaking church sermon. Like, while insulting Diana Rossini and the fans who care enough about him and the team he plays for to allow him to make $150 million. Tone deaf idiot. And then, let's talk about on the field. Scuffling with Eric McCoy, calling out Chris Olave, refusing to take blame for an awful interception at the goal line against the Falcons. That's Derek Carr. That's who he is. Oh, by the way, Kellen Moore meets reporters Saturday after rookie minicamp and acknowledges Derek Carr and Kellen Moore have never even met in person.
I just missed him because we were doing some pro days. So we were missing. We missed this that one time.
That one time. When did they hire Kellen Moore? When was that? Right after the Super Bowl in February. They hired Kellen Moore in February, early February.
Yes.
Yeah. 3 months ago. You missed him that one time? 3 months. 3 months, and your quarterback who's making $100 million can't get his ass on a PJ, land in New Orleans for 3 hours to sit down with the new quarterback? If anybody tries to in any way defend Derek Carr as anything other than the worst free agent signing in the history of this putrid organization, I cannot even have a logical conversation with you. And I understand that seems a bit outlandish because the way I'm talking right now sounds anything but logical. Oh, yeah, I'm being loud. But if you listen, like if this probably plays much better in a column, that's why I wrote one at LouisianaSports.net, because you can put whatever tone you want to it. But this is my opportunity to act as big an ass as he did the last 2 years in New Orleans. Good riddance, Derek Carr. I'd rather take Teddy Bridgewater, Jameis Winston, Carson Wentz, Tyler Shuck, any combination of any bit of awful, because guess what? I've seen it all. I was here in 1997, watched 4 different quarterbacks take snaps for the Saints, including 2 Billy Joes. What you think? I'm going to be scarred by seeing the Saints go 3-14? Like, I ain't seen that? Just get Derek Carr the hell out of New Orleans. Get him as far away from this franchise, the city and state, and never let him back in. The worst free agent signing in the history of the New Orleans Saints finally is gone. And yes, I'm going to say it right now. I friggin' told you so. Every one of y'all 2 years ago, and for the last 2 years, I've been screaming about this dude being such a bum. Average-ass quarterback who thinks he's a superstar, and some of y'all bought it, including the morons that signed his paycheck. And where are you now? Where are you now? Hoping that a busted quarterback who's 26 years old, spent, 9 years in college, whatever it was, is going to be your saving grace. Why? Oh, because you dumped $100 million into Derek Carr. How could we have known it wouldn't have worked? Y'all, the Raiders... The Raiders got like a pumpkin pie haircut freak for an owner, and he kicked him to the curb. What you think he was? What did you think he was? You got a blessing. I'm not going to sit here and ever cheer for an injury. I'm not cheering for Derek Carr's injury. But this is an unintended blessing in disguise. Because of his shoulder injury and retirement, you get to save about $28 million against the cap for 2026, which is going to help get you out from underneath this miserable contract load that you bear because your general manager is a bum. So don't blow it. Cap's going to escalate. You're going to get some cap relief next year from all of this in 26 or 20. You're going to be awful this year. Saints might win 2-3 games. They're going to be awful in 25. Just put your seatbelt on, buckle up. It's going to be awful this year. But you got an opportunity in 2026 and beyond, maybe to draft your franchise and build a little bit through free agency. But just understand that today, we can put this conversation to bed forever. Derek Carr, the worst free agent signing in the history of the New Orleans Saints. good riddance, and never show your ass in Louisiana ever again. So much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.